Hey guys, welcome back to MFO. Thanks for tuning in to another Underwater Wednesday. Who doesn't love a blow up on a buzzbait? And now, as we get into fall, buzzbaits are a great bait to be throwing. Today, we're going to get in the pool and give you a perspective of buzzbaits that the bass see. Yep, that's right. We're going to get underneath those buzzbaits and we're going to watch those buzzbaits go the same way that a bass is looking at them as those buzzbaits come across the top of their heads. The question is, should we be throwing a buzzbait that's got like a horny toad type of a trailer or one that uses a skirt? And what are the differences? How do they look to a bass? And it might give you some hints about what the best way for you to throw a buzzbait is this fall. Guys, this one's going to have a lot of information, a lot of perspectives, and we're going to give you the juice on not only what to rig, but also how to throw them, what rod to use, what line to use, all of those kinds of things. There's going to be a lot in this one. Stick around. Welcome back to Mark Fisher Outdoors, everybody. I'm Mark Fisher. We're going to get started right away talking about buzzbaits because, like I said, there's a lot to talk about. The first thing I'm going to go over is I personally use a Boogerman buzzbait probably 90% of the time. I love them, and I really like the way that a Boogerman buzzbait clacks against the head. To me, that is, I get more bites on a Boogerman than any other type of buzzbait. And there's a lot out there, but that's the kind of buzzbait I throw. Now the question is, do I throw it using a skirt or do I throw it where I take the skirt off and just kind of run a horny toad along the back as a trailer? Well, the answer is I do both, but I've always wondered, what's it look like from a bass's perspective? So let me talk to you first about when I throw it with a horny toad. And while I do that, let's go in the pool and take a look and see what that looks like. As we're running that bait, you can see that that horny toad gives a lot of bulk to the bait. And you still, and I'm gonna be quiet for a second, listen, you can hear, even with the camera underwater, the commotion that that Boogerman buzzbait is giving off. And so you've got that commotion that's going on, and you've got the bulky horny toad bait, which I think matches up real nice. This is a 3/8 ounce buzzbait that we're throwing. Everything that you're gonna see today in the pool is using a 3/8 ounce buzzbait. So the answer to when do I throw the horny toad without the skirt is it gives bulk. It lets me cast farther because the bait itself is heavier, and it lets me skip better because a majority of the bait has that plastic on it, which allows me to skip under docks and pontoon boats and things like that. So definitely, if I'm fishing around docks, if I'm fishing around laydowns and things like that, I'll probably put a horny toad on. I like the way the legs kick behind it, which means you've got some kind of fluttering action in the water in addition to the noise and clacking that the blade is making. Let's take a look at the times when I would throw a buzzbait that has a skirt. I'm telling you guys, a majority of the time when I'm throwing a buzzbait with a skirt, I'm still going to put a trailer on it. Instead of a horny toad trailer, what I like to do is just put a large, like a Kalin's grub like this. And what I'll do with this is I'll put the Kalin's grub so that the curl of the tail goes down. And you can see this in the water. This is exactly how I've got this bait. And even though it looks like it's kind of going up, what's happening is that curl is facing down. And it gives that bait kind of some still fluttering action along the surface in addition to the clacking sound that the buzzbait's making. Now, I've heard people like Jacob Wheeler talk about the fact that they like to have the horny toad or a trailer on because it gives their buzzbait some plastic so that when the bass attacks the bait, it holds on to it as opposed to just attacking a piece of metal with some skirting material, which really makes the bass kind of shy away from and not hold on to a buzzbait nearly as long. I don't know if I kind of go along with that, but I'm going to respect, he definitely has more standing than I do. But the reality is that if you're throwing a buzzbait with a skirt, we've all seen vicious attacks on a buzzbait. There aren't a lot of bass that come up and just, kind of gently mouth a buzzbait. They come up and attack. And part of the reason for that, and you can see this in the video, is those buzzbaits are moving along at quite a clip. So that fish that makes a decision to go after that buzzbait really has to move to get that buzzbait. And that noise and that commotion is what makes them really dart out there to go get that buzzbait. So I'm not really convinced that at that point, after exerting all that energy and really going out it after that bait, that they're going to just kind of mouth it. And if you don't have plastic on the bait, they're not really going to get hooked up. And quite honestly, the times when I will just throw a buzzbait without a trailer, and you see some footage of the yellow bait that I've got here where I don't have a trailer on it at all, in those situations, I'm probably going to put a trailer hook on. And a lot of times in that kind of a situation, you might find me going down to like a 1/8 or 1/4 ounce buzz bait. But I'm going to, and I may or may not have a trailer on it. It probably still will. But if I don't have a trailer on it, I'm going to put a trailer hook on it instead. A lot of times I might do that if it's a quiet morning or something like that, or the bait fish is a little bit smaller like that, or maybe if I'm fishing in particularly shallow water and I don't want to be creating that big, loud, vicious sound in shallower water, I might put a lighter buzzbait on, maybe not have a trailer. But again, if I'm throwing a buzzbait without any kind of plastic on it, I'm probably going to put a trailer hook on it, which is going to alleviate any concerns that Jacob Wheeler indicated about a fish not holding on to the bait long enough. So the reality, guys, is that you can throw a buzzbait with a horny toad on it. You can throw a buzzbait with the skirt and then just put some kind of a trailer on behind to give it bulk. It's, in my opinion, the bulk is allowing you to make longer casts. Yes, the fish is holding on, but it's really just giving you that bulk appearance underneath the water, as you've seen in this video that we presented you today. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in. And like I've said before, this is the kind of stuff that you don't get on a lot of other channels. So if you would, hit that subscribe button, become part of the Mark Fisher Outdoors community. We put out Underwater Wednesday or On the Water Wednesday every Wednesdays. We'd appreciate you joining in. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and we'll see you again tomorrow on another episode of Mark Fisher Outdoors. Take care, everybody.